What is going on, everyone? Mike Singer and Tim Hyde from Blue and Gold with news of a new commitment for the Notre Dame Fighting Irish, and it's a pretty big one, folks. Notre Dame picking up a commitment from the state of Indiana. Tae Johnson from Fort Wayne Northside announcing his commitment to the Fighting Irish. Pretty big time prospect. Tim had offers from Purdue, he was going to take an official visit to. He liked the in-state school, but Tennessee, Penn State, Michigan State, Auburn, Wisconsin, Iowa, Louisville, Minnesota, Washington. List goes on and on, long offer list. Picking Notre Dame over those schools. 4-star prospect, 6'3", 170 pounds, 4-star across the board. Are you pretty fired up about this commitment for the Irish, Tim?
Yes. To be blunt and honest right there, yes. Superstar athlete. I mean, I know Notre Dame and Coach Freeman and staff want him to play, safety. You watch his film, it's on offense, a highlight machine. I mean, if Notre Dame was recruiting him as a wide receiver, there'd be no questions. He could go play wide receiver at Notre Dame. He's that athletic. So huge get, because obviously there was grumblings that he wasn't going to be able to, to make it into Notre Dame. Notre Dame was like, was there room? What was, did he want to play receiver? All these things. And the fact that Notre Dame has stayed on him is very exciting. And he is going to be in this class, which is just awesome. I just love his athleticism. And you're getting a top 200 player, which is just awesome, especially with some of the other guys that have been, committing, recently in this month. So he's a go-getter. He's an athlete. He's, you guess you're going wide receiver to safety. The first thing you think about is Xavier Watts. So, yeah. which is pretty cool. So he's got some plays on here. There's a few jet sweeps that are down the road in his film that he gets the ball, makes one cut and goes. So kudos to Coach Freeman and for Tae Johnson for staying in state and not looking at the others. So big get for Notre Dame.
Yeah, someone who Notre Dame offered. I want to say the offer came after Irish Invasion last year. He looked really good, working out at both sides of the ball. Has visited Notre Dame on a few occasions. Took that official visit. June 6th through the 8th, and I believe it was the last thing on the itinerary during his official visit was a meeting with Coach Freeman, and that's kind of like all right, it's time. You're gonna do this thing. And my understanding is that he told Coach Freeman, "Hey, I'm locked in." And then obviously he announced his commitment here today. So a very exciting get for the Fighting Irish. Tim, I was talking to Tom Lemming, obviously a legendary, recruiting. I don't even know what you call it, a scout, I don't know, media. Tom freaking Lemming. He was like, listen, he's so good at both positions. And I think every play up to this point, we've seen him at a receiver. He's so good at both spots. You probably would rather have him on safety because, 6'3", 180-pound receivers are kind of everywhere. But to get a safety like this is a lot more difficult. Would you agree with that assessment? Like, he's just a darn good athlete. Get him in. Yeah, start him at safety, though, because it's a lot harder to find a safety with this kind of talent than a receiver, because receivers are kind of just everywhere.
Yes. Yeah. No, exactly. Tom Lemming says it perfectly there. You got a long, rangy guy that could just take up so much space with his athleticism and his long arms and just how tall he is out there. It's going back to the Kyle Hamilton type of a safety guy who just eats up yards out there just by walking, Johnson's one of those types of guys. And this is, pretty much going back to the corners that have committed in this class with Hobbs and Moore, long guys. Those guys look like free safeties playing corner. They're so tall and rangy and can run. So this class, no matter what, where they are ranked and whatnot, you're just seeing a lot of the same type of athletes that could play multiple positions, whether it's free safety, strong safety. Like I said, Johnson could play wide receiver. If something happened, they're like, Johnson, you're moving to wide receiver next spring. Yeah, no problem. Because I know, he could go out there and play, kind of like what they did with Watts, the opposite, moving him to safety. So fantastic athlete, and just put him back there, let him do his thing, roam around, and sky's the limit for this guy. This is a big get for this class. I truly believe that.
Yeah, it's 2 junior highlight tapes. I might have I wanted to play the other one. I think I might have just played the same one over again because I'm like, does he have one of defense and one of offense? But
There's
yeah,
some
again, you're
Yeah,
seeing him
there's
just
some
run by
D as you
everyone.
get deeper in there and you
Okay.
just see him run around. But yeah, I mean, when you think of Tae Johnson, you just think of a guy that could fly. Get him on the field somewhere.
So Tim, in-state recruiting for Notre Dame, it's never going to be like, a Florida recruiting their backyard or a Georgia recruiting theirs or, LSU recruiting. You go on and on, USC. Notre Dame's not going to be like that because Indiana just doesn't have those types of guys. But when Notre Dame has the big-time players from their home state, they have to go get them. You pretty pleased, Styles Prescott, Tae Johnson. You're pretty happy to see Notre Dame land some of these guys from in-state?
Oh yeah, I mean they're great football players. I mean they're very very good football players that are going to be outstanding fits for them. So yeah, I mean you're right. First off, it's Notre Dame, and they're always going to look national. It's just what they do. It's the name, it's the brand, it's the tradition of Notre Dame going all over. But exactly, you got guys that fit a position. Prescott with the offensive tackles. They need tackles. You got a guy who's 6'6" down the road, who's athletic as could be. Go get him. And obviously with Tae, I love his film. I love everything about him. I love where he's going to end up. He's going to be on the field somewhere down the road just because he's just such a good runner. And when you get guys like that, it's like just find a spot for him. So big get. I know I've said it 5 times. I'm really excited for this one. This is just one of those hidden gems where months ago it just felt like Notre Dame wasn't going to get him, and the fact that he's coming to the South Bend is really good news.
All right. Well, that is the news, folks. Tae Johnson, Fort Wayne, Indiana Northside High School. I was told he checked in at 6'3" and a quarter, 180 pounds on his Notre Dame visit. So that length, the size, Tim's gushing over there.
It's great film, and then 6'3" safeties out there, and those are some of the guys that Notre Dame are recruiting. And and I know I said it just a couple minutes ago. Same thing with the corners. I mean, all of a sudden you got these dudes out there. It's just the wingspans are all over the place, just taking up passing lanes, and that's exciting when you're looking at the athletes in the back, in that secondary that Notre Dame's bringing in this year. And then lost in the shuffle is Urlacher, who's going to come down, fill the hole, be that 8th man in the box type of a safety as well. So it's a good little group that that Coach Freeman's been bringing in. Once again, we talk 22, 23, 24. These defensive classes are molding into the defense that he wants at Notre Dame.
Tae Johnson is also a really good basketball player. I think he could go play collegiately on the hardwood as well. So just, again, overall fantastic athlete, someone you do expect to, even if he's more of a receiver at the high school level, he'll do just fine on defense. So that's the news, folks. Tae Johnson committing to the Irish. Please hit that thumbs up if you like what you saw in this video. And of course you did. He was a big-time player committing to the Irish. Subscribe to our channel for more content. Head over to blueandgold.com for much more coverage on this news. Appreciate you guys for watching. And as always, we will catch you next time.